Now let's give thanks to the life giver and the keeper of life, Emperor Haile Selassie the First. Now, family, that was definitely a lot of information. And although you were just taking in the audio aspect of the video, we will create some visual aspect to this so that many of you could get a better understanding of what you were listening to. So we're thankful to the presenter of that information. And basically, the main point that was expressed there was, first of all, that the crowns that you see on the head of the Egyptian kings, which are the kings of Kemet, are not really crowns. Even the different level of headdresses that you would see, those are not headdresses on their heads. Those are different forms of the hairstyles in many cases. And of course, because these brothers and sisters are very symbolic in their expression, these different hairstyles are seen again in the formation of crowns. And let me repeat, one of the main points is that in reality, you have not found no whole heap of crowns for the Egyptian kings. You understand? Yes, there would be individuals like Tutankhamun and his specific physical body that they found. There was somewhat like a head tassel, a mini crown that was found on him. But like the Nemes and the hijab and these different crowns that you would see the kings wearing or adorn themselves with on the statues or on the glyphs. These crowns, according to the discoveries, have not been discovered as yet. So, and again now, listen good. You could, when you do your research, we have many different tribes in Africa. And then when you understand the history of these tribes, for example, the Tutsi and the Hutu and the Twa people, and although the Twa people are considered to be the original people, they say that they are the descendants of the Egyptian people. The Twa people specifically align themselves with the great Ramesses II and align themselves with the great Ramesses III as well. So these Twa people and these ancient people are known for their elaborate hairstyles and the elaborate formation of the designs of their crowns. And when I say crown, I'm talking about the hairstyle again. Are we, do we have to go into the importance of your hair? Even as Rastafari, our locks, we call it our crown. And this is why you can hear the spiritual realms because of your hair. That's why it's called your hair, because it assists you to hear. Now, it doesn't mean, if you're bald headed, you do not have a connection with the spiritual realms. I don't want to go too far into that right now. But that's not the point. The point is that you're here. The ninth ether, specifically of the melanated man, is designed to connect to the ether and the astral realms. In fact, one of our metaphysical teachers taught us that 3 inches and beyond is what is needed to get that strong connection with the ether, the astral, and of course, even the solar dimension, the sun itself. And that is why the locks is not just a style, but it's an ancient tradition. So the point is that we as ancient Africans, we understood the science of the hair. And that is why when you look into many different cultures, which was highlighted a moment ago, like the culture of the Limpopo people and the Isikolo people, you would see them have the different hairstyles that are similar to the different crowns of the ancient Kemetic people. And then, you see the short locks that appears to be like war helmets. In fact, these are what these are the words of the Egyptologists that would have so-called discovered these these paintings or these artifacts. They said, oh, these fellas had on some war crowns. These were helmets, not crowns, but war helmets. But these were their hairstyles. So when you check the brothers and sisters in Burundi and Rwanda, you would see the same hairstyle. You look at the brothers and sisters of the Aroma Valley, you see the same hairstyle as the ancient Nubian warriors marching into battle. Then now, when you look at the crown, for example, of Osiris or Asar, you know, some refer to it as the hijab, and you observe the high hairstyle of the ancient people of Nigeria. And again, it was one of these European writers, Herodotus, or one of these fellas, who wrote that the ancient Ethiopian king always wore a crown that went up into the ear and tied into a ball, wherewith the serpent known as the asp would wrap itself around. Now tell me, well, of course, that is really the crown of Asar. That's why you see the serpent always coming out of the forehead. But where did he get that information from, and what meditation was he speaking about there? And when we look at even the Bobo Shanti turban, is the same representation that you see in the crown of Asar. Again, which is also seen in many different hairstyles. There are different hairstyles throughout Africa where its existence alone resembles the turban of the Bobo Shanti. And then now, when you even observe the Benin tradition, the ancient Benin city in Nigeria today, and even the people of the Dahomey, but the statues that are to return to Benin, there's a specific pair highlighting the king and the queen. And you see the hairstyle that he was highlighting of the queen also going up in the ear, also supported by beads. And these elaborate expressions of the hair has been mistaken by many ones to be crowns. So once more, in the case of the ancient Egyptians, you would have never found any crown uh, that matches the crowns that we see. You know, you go to some ancient culture, you find the crowns and the sword and such, and they found a lot. They found many ones, but yet still at the same time, they have not found any crowns. But again, we have proof that these crowns on these symbolic hieroglyphs are very similar to the hairstyle of the literal Africans and the photos we would have seen definitely in other parts of Africa. Then now listen to this. This is very important. The Nemes crown. The Nemes crown stands out as the dreadlocks. I don't know if many ones would have ever, and as I said, I'll be producing a video to show you this. I don't know if anyone would have ever really taken note of Dizoja and his dreadlocks. Now we know he's not the only one, but to prove that the Nemes crown, which is like the fall-like crown, is the locks, and how it holds even in the back. You have to take a look at Dizoja, and we will do that in a moment. And I definitely pray that each and everyone is up for. Remember, this is the Tiger's Nest, and I am encouraging each and every one, those who are not a subscriber to the Tiger's Nest program, I think you should subscribe to the Tiger's Nest program and be ensured to get your recording. the copy of the program every evening after we would have completed the program. You get it in your inbox via the email, the Tiger's Nest. Never miss another episode again, for sure. So again, remember, all you have to do is email us, priestisaacinstitute@gmail.com. And for sure, you will definitely, let us know that you want to become a subscriber to the Tiger's Nest. And for sure, we'll make sure that is done. And at the same time, family, before I continue, I need to remind each and every one that the mission to Ethiopia is on. I am inviting everyone to take a look in the latest edition of the Ambassador's Pen. Listen to me, good family, this is very important. In the most recent edition of the Ambassador's Pen, the Revolutionary Edition, the link is in the description of the video that we will produce. So down below the video, you will see the link to the Ambassador's Pen. First of all, the Ambassador's Pen is a wonderful read. As you will see, it is the progress of Ibrahim Chorowe. And of course, for sure, oh, that's a nice way to say it there. Everything was rolling there. All right. Hey, that's beautiful. Yeah. And definitely, you know that the success of Burkina Faso is definitely something that the world is admiring, and many other good stuff inside of the magazine, the Ambassador's Pen. So I'm inviting everyone. We are encouraging ones to read. We want the revolution of reading to continue. Let's not forget reading now. And give it up for listening and watching and hand under the chin and all that stuff. No, let's flip the pages. And that's why we created the flip book and the PDF as well. So get into the Ambassador's Pen. But listen, before we continue, very important. When you go through the Ambassador's Pen, the proposal for the mission to Ethiopia. Follow me good. Many of you would have heard us explain this in detail. The proposal for the mission to Ethiopia, the overview of it is right there in the Ambassador's Pen. So the overview of it. So we would have asked those of you who are interested, not just in coming to Ethiopia with us, but interested in the mighty works that is being done because you are on the team. We would have asked you to contact us so at least we know you are there, and we would send you the proposal. So just in case you didn't find the time to do that, you can go right in the Ambassador's Pen and you can read for yourself properly the overview, plus the different levels of opportunity that you have as far as the sponsorship. We have the premium and the diamond and the gold level of sponsorship. So you can just take your time to go through that. And remember that the sponsorship, we're giving you value for your sponsorship, and all the details are right there as it relates to marketing and promotion, which is definitely what we are into with our international traveling. So we're going to make available also the different links that you can donate for those who just want to donate. It's all right. We are thankful for that too, because you understand the importance of the mission. Definitely, we are very thankful. God bless your heart. So you can make those donations with the PayPal. I think all of that is the same email, priestisaacinstitute@gmail.com. We'll put all of it up, and you can use the Cash App, and you can use a few other modes for the contribution or the donation that we will be very happy and very thankful and appreciative of as it relates to this mighty mission. And just in case you need to have a better understanding of the importance of it, I am inviting you to look through that specific episode or edition of the ambassador's pen, the revolutionary edition, pardon me, and you will get the full overview. Beautiful. All right, give thanks for your presence. Oh no, I'm not done, man. We were going to talk about the dreadlocks, of course. Come on, man, what's wrong with you? And of course, the dreadlocks is something we would have gone through. Now, some people don't like the dreadlocks talk. Not that I'm a proponent of dreadlocks. I mean, it's not like the top of my agenda. I can say it and I can do without saying it, to be honest. But I don't have no reason to suffocate it. Yeah, man. The scriptures say he shall be a dread and a terror to the wicked. So if the wicked dread my locks, that ain't no big problem to me. You understand? That is what it's supposed to be, really, actually. But we would have done several programs, and I think it's obvious where you can clearly see in ancient Kemet, and Kemet is seen to be used as the standard for anciency, but we know that it all began up the River Nile in what is known as Ethiopia today, the crown head, Abyssinia, and even there and that whole region, that whole concept of the locks is not just people that didn't comb their hair. And I heard one of my beloved historians say we grew locks because we didn't invent the comb yet. It was more than that. We understood the natural spirit of the locks and how it connects to the ether again. And Samson with his 7 locks and the whole works. So we understood the art and the thin locks and the booty locks and what you call the what people call the freedom locks and all of that stuff. We comprehended the science of it. So this is very important. But now, outside of seeing glyphs with locks, the point here is that the kings and the queens and the specific headgears that they wore or appear to wear. Now, this is a next level that I may be just skipping over this, but many of us who are in this study, we haven't taken the time to really sit on this level to come to grips that what we are looking at, I mean, that's not really how it was. Yeah, I have come to that conclusion a long time ago. So for example, you see how they dress. That's not necessarily it. I mean, the History Channel and Discovery Channel would have sunk that image in your head for so long now that even those of us as conscious ones cannot see that what you're looking at is not how it looked. Like Tutankhamun did not necessarily have on what you call the Nemes crown then, with the rays and all of that. I'm sure he never put on the mask outside and that he was buried with and walked up and down. No, there's high symbolism there. If you just understand the pyramid, Rasta, you would know that we're dealing with a society that is deep in symbolism, in everything, every single thing. When you can look at the statues of the Amenhoteps and both the geometry of the symmetry is so precise. Nobody else does that. No one else does that. Perfect symmetry. Not even the human being has that perfect symmetry as those statues of the Amenhoteps in ancient Kemet. And a few others, I think the Tutmosis too. So you can see it's over generations, that perfection you comprehend in every detail of symbolism. And that's ancient Kemet, and that's for sure. So, and just even in the expressions, so I'm not of the belief that they literally dressed like that. And I've had that opinion a very long time. Of course, a lot of my opinions are not the popular opinions. I can tell you that for sure. But a lot of what I've said have proven themselves to be facts as time rolls on. So even in sealing, just to show you the importance. Look again, look at the Bobo Shanti turban. You know, look at the dreadlocks and look at the Nemes crown, the falling crown, what looks like a fall. But look at the back now. Look at the back of Tutankhamun's Nemes crown, where it has the bee sting that I speak of from time to time. Also resembles what you may call a ponytail. Hmm? And even the ancient Africans also, you know, of the savannah would have that style where they cover their hair in a specific type of clay and bring it back in the same ponytail. That's their crown. As I said, the Rastaman call his locks the crown. So it doesn't mean that there was no headgear, like what you may see, like if I personally am wiping it out totally, like, oh, there was no crown whatsoever. No, not at all. But I'm sure that a lot of what we're seeing, remember, we're talking of a 3,000 years sort of existence here. So I'm sure that what we would have seen, many of the skull caps and the war helmets and the, as I said, the Nemes crowns and the hijed and whatever have you. Many of these expressions represent the locks and the different hairstyles. So now when you look at the great Dizoja, and remember King Dizoja is the builder of the step pyramid. And well, really it is Imhotep, but the step pyramid belonged to the Shoja. And if you look at the Shoja, well, now he has on the Nemes crown, but if you observe good, his locks is literally running out from underneath the Nemes crown, and that is King Dijoja. I can see why they were really anxious to destroy his statue. They knock off the nose, they try to bust him in his head, bust off his beard, you know, and he has a real fat beard. And you can see again the locks raining down from the side of King Dizoja. And of course, there are other ancient Kemetic rulers that carry that formation. So, very interesting subject, especially when they say you haven't found any of these headgears. And the ancient ones of Africa definitely is also highlighting the same style as ancient Egypt. And of course, we say, check the people of Rwanda, who say that they are descendants of the Kemetic people and still the origin of mankind. We are all one. Look at the Lipombo people again and the hairstyle that they carry as well. And even the people in Benin, all all seems one to I and I. So give thanks, royal family, for your love. You know, I'm just going to encourage you again. Make sure you go through the ambassador's pen, specifically at this time, the revolutionary edition, and go straight as well to the proposal for the Ethiopian, the mission to Ethiopia. Go through the overview, get a better understanding as well. It would be good if you choose one of the sponsorships that we have available. And if not, please feel free to make that donation. Beautiful. Remember, if you know your Bible and you do not know your history, the knowledge of your Bible will become a mystery. And of course, you know, it takes some real eyes to realize the real lies that are amongst us. Very thankful for your presence. Glorify the life giver. Holy Emmanuel I, Selassie I, Jah Rastafari. Give thanks. Blessed love.